A shout out to our podcast sponsor, sportsponsorship.co.uk. If you or your business are interested in making a real difference to the Scottish game, supporting hundreds of kids into regular football, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk and they'll find the right fit for your brand. Hello and welcome to Tinpot on Tour, our Friday mini-series. My name's Tom Leask, your host, joined as always by Matthew Strugnall. How are you, Matt?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you doing? Feeling better?
Yeah, on the mend, definitely. Full show. It's the COVID. It keeps coming back to bite me. It's no fun.
Show.
Begin there for show. Yeah, and I'm much better. Thanks for holding down the fort with Andrew on Monday, Tuesday. In my absence, I had a good listen to the ep, and I was worried for my job. To be fair, I think you both did a stellar
Andrew
performance.
was good, but he's no Tom. Did you have to buy a COVID test from like Boots or that, or do you just know you've got COVID because you've had it so many times?
It's ever since I had COVID the first time during sort of 2020-21. Every 6 months, fairly routinely, I get the exact same symptoms as COVID, and I'm bedded for a couple of days. I don't know if that's classed as long COVID technically, or if long COVID means you have it every single day and feel symptoms. I've not really researched enough, but yeah, it's probably just a cold, and I'm being melodramatic as usual.
Did you drink a big bottle of Lucozade original?
I did not actually. Didn't take your advice. No. I was on water, and that was probably about it.
Double big tasty to help you feel better.
That was yesterday. Yep, that was definitely helping on the road to recovery. And my God, the double big tasty is fantastic. A lot of people criticising the size of it, saying it's a bit too small, and they've shrunk it a bit, like the old shrinkflation. But it's the perfect bun to cheese to patty ratio and to sauce ratio for me. It's got sauce on the top bun and the bottom bun. It's got 2 patties, 2 buns, and 3 bits of cheese. So that to me is better than the Big Mac. There's too much bread in a Big Mac. And not enough cheese. Yeah, I think it's perfect.
I'll need to try it. I've not had a big tasty in a long time. I'm reluctant to pay the price of the special burgers, as you're well aware. I'll stick to the £5 meal deal that they do. 3 of them, please. That does me. But I might splash out. I do enjoy a big tasty. Remember back in my days working at McDonald's, you would always make yourself a big tasty for your break whenever it was on, and you could put that sauce on any burger you'd like because you could make your own lunch. So Big Mac with big tasty, McChicken sandwich with big tasty sauce, chicken nuggets with big tasty sauce, and you shake the box. I was going to say, do you ever dip some nuggies in it? There you go. Aye, nuggies in a box, big tasty sauce, squirt, shake the box. Oh, come on, baby. Did you get any Grinch meals? Didn't you get socks with one of the Grinch meals, I think?
Yeah, Kim had just a standard meal and did get some Grinch socks with it. Yeah, 1 yellow, 1 red, which she was a bit frustrated by. She's not an odd socks kind of person, so she was a bit miffed. But yeah, look, it's you were obviously slagging off the price, and I think for a large meal at McDonald's when you've got a special burger on, you can pay the same amount of money and go to Nooch Bar and Kitchen and get a freshly made, like really good, high quality plant-based burger, and you can enjoy the ambiance. You don't have to worry about having to throw away your cardboard or eat it in a crappy location.
You've got
the vibes there. It's fresh, piping hot, straight out the kitchen,
rolls,
made with love. So yeah, I mean the price is a bit of a disgrace when you see a sort of locally sourced small business like that producing the high quality goods that Nooch does. So if you're choosing between the two, I think we'd both unanimously say that Nooch is the way to go.
That's right, my friend. You could have a burger from Nooch, you wouldn't even know you're eating some sort of plant. It tastes just like a beautiful burger from Gordon Ramsay Kitchen, which is also overpriced shite.
So as good as that, but just about a third of the price.
Yeah.
That's noochbk.com if you want to go and check them out. NOOCHBK. It's either .com or .co.uk. It's one of the two. I'm sure you'll find them. Anyway, that's one of our podcast sponsors. So shout out to those guys for keeping us going. This week's episode of Tinpot on Tour, our mini series, like I said at the top of the show, is a Scottish Cup special. these Friday episodes are meant to be a bit more nostalgia-based, a bit more sort of light-hearted, fun, a bit more games, trivia involved, that sort of thing. And that is what we've got coming up in the next half an hour for you fine people. Matthew and I are going to be discussing Scottish Cup finals of years gone by. I'm going to be asking him to sort of rank where he thinks finals would be, compare them side by side. We're going to look at cult heroes. We're going to look at, all sorts. Then we're going to predict some weekend fixtures. Andrew, as you can tell, isn't joining us for this episode, but he has recorded his prediction in a voice note. And then we're going to get onto a quiz to round things off. So that's what's coming up in the next wee while. So yeah, Scottish Cup. Let's not dilly-dally. Let's not dither on the Scottish Cup. Let's just get straight into some rankings. Mm-hmm. And the first one I'm going to run past you, Matthew, is I'm going to ask you to blind rank. So just in case you've never blind ranked anything before, you don't know what's coming next. So if I tell you something and you lock it in at position 1, that's you locked in. Even if there's a better one that comes up after it, tough titties, you've locked in at position 1.
Yeah, you
so
should.
Scottish Cup.
Yeah, it's a TikTok thing, right?
It's what the kids like to do, apparently. So I'm told.
We did one at yours about like snacks once, and I was like, "Oh no, I've put a Yorkie at number 2, but I enjoy a Kit Kat Chunky more." Anyway, some sort of.
Once we've blind ranked them, I will ask you. Did you get that right blindly, or do you want to change it about? But anyway, Scottish Cup cult heroes.
Okay.
Some of these are genuinely top class players. So weren't specifically cult heroes, but I was struggling to find cult heroes from the last 25 years of Scottish Cup action. Anyway, the first option you've got is Rudy Scatchell, the Hearts forward, scored in 2 separate finals for Hearts. Obviously, he's got 2 goals in the 2012 final against Hibs. Where does he go?
Is it a 10, sorry?
5. You've only got 5.
Oh, God. I don't know, because who knows what's coming next. Let's go.
So you're not ranking him as like a footballer as such, just as much as a cult hero.
Let's go 4.
In at 4? Fair enough. Dimitar Mitov, Aberdeen keeper who saved Alistair Johnston's penalty this year to win them their first Scottish Cup in donkeys.
5.
5?
Yeah, come on now. He saved one penalty, some pathetically tame penalty. Or did he save McGregor's as well? I don't know.
He saved 2, yeah. He saved McGregor's to start with, and then he saved Johnston's to win it.
He's not been there long enough.
Not been there long enough. He's going in at 5 straight off the bat.
A cult hero doesn't have to be there long, but I'm going by the feeling of the vibes and the vibe tummy, You get the vibes, you hear the name and you feel, the vibeometer going. And I just got a 5 for me.
Yeah, this episode should have been just titled Matt Strugnall vibes his way through the Scottish Cup. Because that's what this episode is. It's all based on vibes. Fair enough. He goes in at 5. Your next option is James Grady, the striker for Gretna, who was their top goal scorer in that campaign when they got to the final in 2006.
Well, that's some serious.
A lot of people, yeah, big vibes, man. A lot of people would be saying, why is it not Kenny Duker? Why he's more the sort of cult legend for Gretna of that time. But Grady was the top goal scorer for the Scottish Cup that year, so we've gone with it.
I'll go 3. An incredible run, sad end to the story of Gretna.
In 3, so you've got 1 and 2 left.
That's right.
Next up is Conrad Logan, the Hibernian keeper.
Number 1, Conrad Logan. Oh my God, he was a big fat bastard. He was fucking class, man. He just comes in like 3/4 of the season. Everyone's like, plays in the semi-final, plays in the final, Hibs win the Scottish Cup, and he's a goal. It's just incredible scenes. Honestly, incredible. Yeah,
it came from nowhere as well. I remember him playing against United in the semi-final, and he was the penalty hero that got them through that shootout. And when we saw him playing, we're like, surely we get past this. And he was like a cat. It was unbelievable. Fair enough. You've gone in at 1. That's a big vibe shout.
He's a cult hero. He's just brilliant. It's a brilliant story.
Excellent. Conrad Logan, a goalkeeper. So you've got a goalkeeper at 1 and 5, so at least you're not biased against them. I thought that was maybe the way it was going to go. So finally, in number 2, you're left with 1 spot, and it's going to Henrik Larsson. Less of a cult hero and more just as a general Celtic hero, but he got 9 goals in the Scottish Cup campaign 2000-2001, I think, which is the most in the 21st century for one Scottish Cup campaign. Got 2 goals in the final that year to secure them the treble on the last day against Hibs. So, just for that one season alone, that's why he's in there.
That Larsson boy didn't do much.
Yeah, he kind of dropped off after that, didn't he?
Yeah.
2 assists in a Champions League final.
Oh yeah. Fair play, mate.
Would you reshuffle that 5 if you?
I might drop Grady down to 5. Maybe pop Mitov up a spot. So
just swapping 4 and 5.
Who was no? How about Grady at 3? Who was my 4? The first one.
4 was the first one out. It was the Scatch man.
Oh yeah, no, I put Scatcho at 3, Mitov at 4, Grady at 5. Yeah, so happy with the top 2.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you have any Wraith Rovers sort of cup heroes, Scottish Cup heroes?
It's got to be from the season we got to the semi-final. We lost to Dundee United. Laurie Ellis for his header in the quarter-final against Dundee and his iconic celebration. Taddy as well in the same season scored away at Aberdeen. Also an iconic moment. So I'd probably say those 2. A great season for the Rovers that was under the almighty J. McGee.
J. McGee, you're the Messiah, as you call him.
Messiah, next Scotland manager. He keeps on winning, mate. He keeps on winning. I'm telling you. If Falkirk come getting like Europe or something this season, man, he has to be in contention for the job after Clark's booted out after an embarrassing World Cup campaign.
Friend of the pod, and relation of mine, Henry, he predicted that they would get a top 6 finish before the start of the season. He was one of the bold few. And he was early, sort of June time, I think it was, where he was saying that Hearts would split the Old Firm before it was on anyone's lips. So he really is the man in the know. So shout out to him. On to another blind ranking, sticking with the Scottish Cup theme, since this weekend it is the round 3 of the insert sponsor here, Scottish Cup. Looking at biggest Scottish Cup upsets this time, and these are all from our lifetime again, from the sort of year 2000 onwards, because football didn't exist from before then. We just really look at what we know. Starting off with Clyde 2, Celtic 1 in 2006, Roy Keane's famous match.
Unbelievable. It has to be number 1. Has to be number 1.
Number 1?
Has to be the biggest upset. I'm sure that Clyde team was like put together in that summer, like a ragtag bunch of players that had to all sort of sign some big names in there. Craig Bryson, I'm sure, played in that team. A really remarkable result, and it was even more hilarious because Roy Keane was getting fucking rings running around out of him, and Clyde, and yeah, just amazing result.
Roy Keane's Celtic debut, incredible.
What do you think, mate?
What do I think? That's not the game here. The opinions never come from me. I'm just the judge and the jury. Oh yeah, I mean it's still talked about now, isn't it? It's one that everyone remembers. And it wasn't like Celtic put out a second string team, really. They had Boric in goal, Telfer, Virgo, McManus, Wallace. McGeady came on after 55 minutes. Nakamura.
I know.
A midfield 2 of Neil Lennon and Roy Keane. Pearson, who was obviously Scotland capped at the time. John Hartson, Sean Maloney. On the bench, David Marshall, penalty hero. Zurawski came off the bench. So it was a full-strength Celtic team, really.
I know. It was absolutely brilliant. Obviously, Clyde were in the first division, but it was a bit of a tumultuous time for them. And Celtic were very strong. And
I want Clyde fans to let us know, is that and Rangers women fans, I think Rangers women also play at Broadwood, is that the biggest game in Broadwood's history as a stadium?
Hamilton play there now.
Hamilton now, yeah, for the last 5 months.
It was just amazing. Everyone remembers. So
you've gone straight in at 1, for Scottish Cup upsets.
Just
Celtic
felt the
and
vibe.
Clyde.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go on vibes, man. You always do. Celtic 1, Inverness 3 in the year 2000. Super Calico Ballistic Celtic are atrocious.
I'll go to
2.
Could have been number 1. Again,
that's
just
the headline that everyone remembers.
Barnes, was it John Barnes and was the manager at the time, or was it Doug Leash, one of the two, or both of them? And also this was an Inverness team.
Wim Janssen, no?
No, I think it was Barnes. And that was an Inverness team that was fairly new to the league structure. And the headline alone is just so memorable that it will never be forgotten.
Yeah, that headline outlives anything else, really.
Who wrote that headline, mate? Give him some fucking, or her, give them some.
It was the editor of the Scottish Sun. It was Paul Hickson. So shout out to you, Paul, wherever you are. If you want to join us in the pod one week, you've got an open invitation for that headline alone.
Yeah, it's class, mate. Top class. Top class.
I'm trying to find out more about the game here. You can tell on Tinpot we do loads of research before we jump on the mic.
It's not
I can tell you the referee was Dougie McDonald.
Dougie. Yeah,
it's also an away cup upset. I mean, the rest of this list are all home wins, but to get 3-1 at Parkhead, to only rank that second, Matt, I think you've let yourself down a wee bit.
Well, I've already given the fucking first place, mate, so I can't just swap them about yet. That's how fucking the blind ranking works, son.
Yeah, but you should have seen that ahead of time, and it was John Barnes that was in charge. You're correct.
They're both equally as mad.
Director of Football Operations was Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah,
there you go. You got 2 names correct. Right, on to game number 3 then, and we're going to go a bit more recent. It's Darvel 1, Aberdeen 0. The demise of Mr. J. Goodwin.
Pretty incredible for a team of Aberdeen's size to lose to a team from, was it within the Lowland League at the time, or within the league below that? Within the fucking West?
I think they were below that, yeah.
Incredible. It's got to be number 3, the way it's going.
So the West of Scotland Football League. So you've gone 1, then 2, then 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
An absolute shock result. Clearly Aberdeen pressure on the manager was too much. He's proved himself to be a steady hand at Dundee United, so I don't know if there was any way back from after that, Aberdeen, but maybe they should have given him more of a chance. He's certainly not the big dud that they made him out to be, but yeah, that's a mad result as well. I don't think it'll be as remembered as much. I don't know why. What do you reckon? Because it's Aberdeen, I don't know if it was one of the old firms that's always going to be remembered a bit more.
I don't know, yeah. To me, it's maybe because it's Jim Goodwin's involved and he's obviously now at United. It's more in conversations that I have. A couple of mates that are Guns fans as well.
So give it another 10 years.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's never going to be spoken about like a Celtic defeat, is it? And we've had 2 of them in positions 1 and 2. Right, so that goes in at number 3. We've got 2 more, one of which is recent, one of which is about 10 years old, thereabouts. We're going to go for Brora 2, Hearts 1 in 2021. It was a Robbie Nielsen game.
5,
again,
mate,
one of the nails in his coffin.
Nah, 5. That was a shock, yeah. It's not, against a lot has happened that season, and Hearts went on to win the title, and I don't think it really affected their season that much or Nielsen that much. Obviously, the fans were pissed off at the time, but I think the fans had some sort of strange vendetta against Nielsen. So yeah, I think that's a 5 for me. And 4 will be Rangers Queen's Park, is it?
Strangely not. No, I've actually omitted that
Aberdeen
from the
Rovers
list.
and Aberdeen losing to Raith Rovers. No?
There's lots I could have included, and I don't know why I've gone down the route that I've gone down with this next
here
one.
we go.
But, yeah, your 4th spot goes to Albion Rovers 1, Motherwell 0 from 2013. That's stuck in the mind for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Well, I think, the ultimate demise of Albion Rovers, gone from the league structure, never to be seen again. An incredible.
They were still in it at the time. They were down in League 2, I think, at the time.
Incredible result, yeah. That was at Albion's ground, right? It was, yeah. Rovers Stadium, yeah. Just a classic Scottish Cup ground. For those
Clydebank, is it?
I think that's Annan.
Oh, confused.
Yeah, an incredible setting, just the sort of muddy pitch and that sort of vibe. That gives some
Clifton Hill, that's it.
There you go. That gives some pure Scottish Cup upset vibes when the pitch is all boggy and it's like a winter's day. It's brilliant. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, going back to the Brora one just a second, I didn't comment on the Hearts one. I think Hearts were, like you say, in the Championship at the time. Brora would have been Highland League. So what's that, 3 sort of tier gap between them? Albion League 2 to the Premiership, it's about the same. But then I think when you've got an old firm team that loses, especially at home in that Cali game, and Cali back then would have been, what, 2nd Division, which is League 1?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even lower?
Could even, yeah, they were relative newcomers to the league structure, yeah.
They'd only been in the league for about 6 years. So, because if you beat a Premiership team, anyone other than the old firm, the gap then from those teams to the old firm is as big as like League One to the Premiership. Like the gap's so big. So I think when you've beaten an Old Firm team at their own turf, that should take the top spot. Anyway, so you've gone with number 1 being you straight out of the traps. You went with Clyde 2, Celtic 1. Then you've gone Celtic 1, Cali 3 in the second spot. And then you've gone Darvel 1, Aberdeen 0. Then Brora 2, Hearts 1, and then Albion Rovers 1, Motherwell 0. How would you reorder that now that you know them? What's the biggest shock?
Probably just keep the same.
It's just to keep it simple.
Yeah. I mean, that Celtic team was mad. You couldn't name the same amount of players from that Inverness team, the Celtic team that lost to Inverness, than you could the Celtic team that lost to Clyde. I mean, that was a Celtic team that was at the relative top of their game. I think the Celtic team that lost to Inverness was a bit of a shambles under, obviously, John Barnes and Ken Dalglish. It was not going well for them. Just the Roy Keane factor as well just adds to the hilarity and the pure vibes of it, so I'm happy with my number 1.
The pure vibes of it. That is what the list is all about, mate. You're spot on. Vibes. The Celtic team in that Inverness game: Jonathan Gould, Vidar Riseth, Olivier Tebele, Tom Boyd, Stefan Mahe, Colin Healy, Eyal Berkovic, Lubo Moravcik, Reggie Blinker, Mark Burchell, Mark Viduka. Jesus.
Viduka, man, quality. 1 season of pure brilliance, but not in that game. But yeah,
I'll give you £1,000 if you can name one of the Cali starting 11 without being a cheat and googling it.
Christie's dad, Charlie Christie.
Yeah, he's got it. That's £1,000 to Matt. You heard it on this pod here.
Come on, that's some fucking words that thicker than blood. Words on a recorded podcast. So you owe me £1,000.
Yeah, that's bad to me. Ian Wright came off the bench in that game as well at half time. He did. Ross Tokley played.
Tokley, legend. That's some good vibes as well, to be fair, Ian Wright, but I couldn't have told you that he was there.
Ian Wright also got yellow.
Celtic, like.
Those are the banter years, weren't they? The 90s for Celtic. Then Larson came and saved the day. Right, that's some Scottish Cup final upsets. We're going to stay with Scottish Cup. No, they weren't final upsets. They were just upsets in general. We're going to move on to finals then, and I'm going to ask you to rank purely on vibes these finals, just for your own enjoyment and where they stack up in the history of the competition. So, I'm going to start with, again, this year's Cup final. Aberdeen 1, Celtic 1, the one that went to penalties.
Now, the lasting memory of that is the celebrations, obviously, and the joy in the Aberdeen fans. The game itself was pretty dire, so I'm going to put a 3 in the middle, just purely because Aberdeen won the cup and the last few moments were really special. The game itself was shite, so give it a 3. Yeah,
the first hour was rank rotten, wasn't it? Yeah. It was almost the worst cup final ever, and then the second hour, if you include the extra time in pens, was world class.
Yeah.
Cool, so that's going to
see an underdog win the cup. It's always a brilliant moment.
Absolutely. Moving on to Hibs 5, Hearts 1 from 2012.
Sorry, what?
Hearts 5, Hibs 1, sorry. I've still got the COVID brain. My bad.
Cut that a bit out, I think. Oh, yeah.
So many Hearts fans raging in the comments.
An absolutely stonking, pumping, but I'm going to put it at 5 only because no one wants to see a pumping in a cup final, do you? Like, it's well and good being funny for Hearts fans, but you want a cup final to be relatively close, and the gap that day was vast, and that Hibs team was, again, they went through a strange time. I think they got to the cup final the year after that as well, under Pat Fenlon, but yeah, it was a strange time which sort of followed up with relegation and then the subsequent Scottish Cup win, but I don't really want to see anyone get pumped in the final unless, of course, it's Dunfermline.
Yeah, from a neutral's perspective, you definitely don't want that. You're right.
So 5.
And interesting that in that Hibs team on that day, there was 2 Wraith Rovers players in that team from this current season. Unbelievable.
I've got my number 1 in my head of what it's going to be. You better have chosen this cup final.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The greatest cup final ever.
Now I'm worried I've not chosen the right one. Okay.
You must have chosen it.
Fair enough. So that goes in at 5. You said Celtic 3, Hibs 0. It's another final we've already mentioned. It completed the treble for Celtic under Martin O'Neill in his first season. in the Hampden Sun. I mean, where does that one rank for you? I don't know if you remember watching that.
No, so I'm going to put it at number 4.
It would be 5, but it's gone in at
Yes,
4.
45, yeah. I can't
Next
really
up,
say
it's
much about
another
it. Yeah.
it's another mention of the old firm. It's Celtic and Rangers. Rangers 3, Celtic 2 from 2002. Peter Lovenkran's 90th minute winner to bring it back from 2-1 down to clinching the
Just
trophy.
pure last minute vibes. I do love a last minute goal, and then a cup final against your biggest rivals. I'm going to put it number 2 in the hope that you've got this last one. I'm thinking of being number 1, and if you don't have it, then there's something wrong with you. So yeah, number 2.
Oh dear. Okay, so that goes into number 2, the old firm game. And that means number 1 spot is left for. Imagine it was Dundee United 3, Ross County 0. Imagine it's not. It's Hibernian 3, Rangers 2 from 2016.
Come on, that's the one. Absolutely amazing. That's brilliant. The greatest moment in Scottish Cup history is when David Gray fucking headed that ball in the goal. Unbelievable. It was like up there with Scotland, Denmark vibes, you know, like just pure, incredible, just joy and emotion, and to end the long, long wait for Hibs after so many cup final defeats. Yeah, it was just spectacular and an amazing cup final between two, you know, really good teams, both in the championship, which was incredible at the time. Both had really strong squads and good seasons. So yeah, just a brilliant game. Number 1.
Anyone listening to this for the first time would think you're a Hibs fan. You've cheered and celebrated at that going to number 1, and you've put Hibs getting battered 5-1 in 5th place.
That moment is unmatched. Just the whole thing, but the narrative about Hibs not winning the cup in so long, and the pain that they've been through, and then the massive fucking riot on the pitch, and the fighting was class. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was such good TV, wasn't it?
was.
From a
Seems we don't want
neutral's
to see,
perspective.
but we do want to see. So keep showing
And then
up.
Sunshine on Leith afterwards, as
Yeah.
again as a neutral, that song as a football song is right up there. I'm sure Andrew would agree if he was on the pod, even though he's a Rangers fan. I know he's got a soft spot for that tune, compared to "You'll Never Walk Alone," for example. But yeah, Henderson to deliver even the commentary as a non-Hibs fan, it just one of those football moments that can bring goosebumps, unless you're a JT or a Rangers fan.
Correct. I'm glad you chose it there. I was worried you were going to put Dundee United's pathetic win against Ross County after they fluked against Rovers in the semi-final.
Fluked. David Goodwillie put you to the sword that day.
Yeah, we were pissed in the semi. We didn't show up. We froze.
You bottled it. John McGlynn just couldn't take you that one step further. The Messiah. Right, that's the blind rankings. All done and dusted. That's a bit of Scottish Cup banter. We're going to continue the Scottish Cup banter by looking at our predictions. Now, the last few weekends of Predictor League have been taken up with the Scottish national team. A quick update on the scores after that. Don't have the scoreboard. We'll review this again on Tuesday's ep. But it's me on 8, Matt and Andrew on 7. We each gained a point out of those two fixtures by guessing that Scotland were going to beat Denmark. And none of us got the score correct. I don't think anyone was predicting a 4-2.
No, not a chance.
To scoop 3 points. So yeah, I am ahead by a point. Matt and Andrew are on 7. I'm on 8. So looking ahead to this weekend then, we have got, as I said, that voice note from Andrew. So we'll pass over to you now, Andrew, to give us your verdict for this weekend's prediction.
Hello everyone, sorry I couldn't make it along to the pod, but yeah, Rachel Bloody Reeves has ruined my day by announcing all sorts of guff in her budget. So my prediction for this weekend is the Scottish Cup third round game between Airdrieonians and Hamilton Academical. Airdrieonians have had a couple of decent results, I would say, recently, beating Wraith pretty convincingly, and also drawing with Partick Thistle. Hamilton, it's been a bit of a rocky season, obviously, with points deductions, etc. But I have a feeling that they are going to pull off a underdog shock win. I'm going to say Hamilton are going to win the tie 2-1. No doubt Tam and Matt have picked probably the most predictable games ever, but hey-ho, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
And what a load of shite that was.
Yeah, Andrew, mate, you need to fucking read some newspapers, son.
He's got no idea, does he?
Now you'll be like, oh, I'm
Clueless.
just so busy. Yeah.
And the cheek of the man as well. He tells us we're predicting easy games, and he's predicted that. Like it's the biggest tap in of all time, that game.
Yeah, get a grip, Andrew.
Oh, you really ought to have a look at yourself. Right, Matthew, over to you. What's your what fixture have you chosen, and what's your preview and your prediction?
I've chosen what I see as one of the most interesting ties. Some people may disagree. Stranraer at home to Clydebank.
Wow.
Now, a lot of our younger listeners might not remember Clydebank. I remember they had the worst ever points total in Scottish football, like 9 points in a season. Got one win in I can't remember what season, maybe 97, 98. They beat Rovers in that, their only win of the season. They were terrible. They went out of business, and they have been in the non-league scene in Scotland for a long time. That could be about to change this season, as they currently sit top of the Lowland League. Can you believe it, mate? Top of the Lowland League at the moment. Can Clydebank be making their way back to League 2? We'll see. They've got a test away to Stranraer, who are on a decent run of form as well. Battered my predictions for League 2 champion Spartans 4-0. Did you notice that time at the weekend? What is it?
Yes.
They're on 3 wins out of the last 5. So I think this will be a high-scoring Scottish Cup game. I think Clydebank will show their class and will beat Stranraer 3-2 in a epic Scottish Cup encounter, and Clydebank continue their rise. Come on, the Bankies! Or the Clydies.
The Bankies. We need to agree, are these scores AET or are they at 90?
We'll do Bookie's way, 90 minutes.
90 minutes, okay. So you're thinking it's going to be 3-2 in 90?
It's going to be a fucking goal-scoring classic in the RAR. 3-2 to Clydebank. We'll be seeing them in League 2 again soon, methinks.
Yeah, I saw they were top of the Lowland, just above Bonnyrigg as well. Really interesting.
Really?
Be good to get them back in the big time.
Do you think any team that will be relegated will ever come back? Like Cowdenbeath or
like
Albion
or Berwick Rangers or that?
It's mad, right? It's just once you go down, mate, that's your fucking.
Well, given that the Rose are in second, I'm not saying this year they'll come back up, but I mean that's a promising sign. I think most of the other teams have gone down and kind of drifted away, but
I know Cowdenbeath 8th, Berwick 12th, Albion 15th, East Stirling 18th. Jesus, he's still in bottom of the league.
It'd be nice to see one of the teams come back up.
I know.
Just to get one of those.
Do you remember we went to Cowdenbeath game? But a couple of years ago, we went to Cowdenbeath.
The Blue Brazil,
it was the coldest fucking game I've ever been to in my life.
It was pretty tasty atmosphere though. It was quite good, I thought. It's really cool ground as well. You can obviously the speedway's there. You can walk all the way around. It's pretty interesting. Sorry, there's loads of sniffling going on in this mic. I do apologise to the listeners if you're getting that. It's like ASMR of a man with the flu. But anyway, right, that's your prediction, Matthew, and a very interesting one at that. Unlike Andrew's awful prediction that he made.
Thanks,
and finally, I have gone for the Scottish Cup third round tie between the mighty Mariners, Camelon Juniors, and Edinburgh City. Now, you might be thinking that's a mismatch. That's obviously going to be Edinburgh City. It's got their name written all over it. Well, let me tell you otherwise. Camelon Juniors last year in the East of Scotland First Division won the league and got promoted. They are now sitting, I think, in 4th place in the Premier Division and have 2 games in hand, which could take them to joint on points with first place. Wow. So they are in a cracking position, are the Mariners. They're at home. Edinburgh City have sort of faltered recently in terms of their form. They've had a couple of draws, a couple of poor defeats. So, they got off to a great start in League 2 Edinburgh City. They'd beaten the likes of the Spartans away from home, and they were flying up to make up from that points deduction, but they've sort of faltered recently. And I think it's one of those cup ties, similar to you, Matthew, with the Clydebank situation, where I think you can see a bit of an upset coming there. Just with, Camelon being at home. The last couple of games they've had, Camelon, in the Scottish Cup have both been at home. They beat, I think, Albion Rovers in the first round, which is a big sort of name to get in the first round. A Lowland League team. But yeah, they've managed to put them out. And the gap between the top of the Lowland League, or even the middle of the Lowland League and League 2 isn't that great. So yeah, I'm going to stick with my local boys, the Camelon Juniors, and say that they'll get a win. I think it could potentially be after extra time, but since we're not going for that, I'll just say 2-1 in normal time. I think they'll get the 2-1 dub. that they need to advance.
Nice.
So yeah, I like your prediction, mate, and I thought mine was it's all right.
We love a cup
pretty,
set, so always
pretty
nice
interesting. Just Andrew, honestly, with that voice note. Terrible.
Just put a sour taste in my mouth, mate. It's not gonna lie.
Well, let me sweeten that mouth right back up with a little quiz for you to end this episode.
Yummy.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. He's got love in his tummy. So the 10 Scottish Cup finals between the year 2000, or the season 00/01, and the season 9-10. There's 10 finals in that time.
Grim. That's a blind spot for me, son. I can't even tell you one.
What do you mean? You always say this because you're under pressure, but I think if you sat on a bench in, say, I don't know, a city like Madrid, having a little picnic with me, you'd list them off no bother.
I'm not really a Scottish Cupman. I'm more of a Challenge Cupman, you know.
It's a Scottish Cup special.
As you know, I reeled off all the Challenge Cup winners, so...
I was going to make it difficult for you and say, can you name all of the 19 scorers in all of the finals between those 10 seasons? But I'll make it a tenable instead. So you just got to name 10 of the 19. You've got 2 lives to lose. On you go. Any scorer between 2001 and 2010 in the Scottish Cup final.
Henrik Larsson.
And yeah, I was going to say, we have already mentioned a few.
Yeah.
Larsson, correct. He is tenable.
Lovenkrands.
Lovenkrands is tenable.
Nacho Novo.
Novo is tenable. Well done. Yes, he scored in 2009 against Falkirk in a 1-0 win.
Chris Boyd.
Chris Boyd is tenable. Scored against Queen of the South twice in 2008.
Stevie Tosh. Stevie Tosh.
I'll give you Stevie Tosh. Yes, also in that same final in 2008. Well done. He's tenable. That is 5 out of 5. You said at the start this is going to be a nightmare. It's a blind spot, and then you just listed Steve Tosh.
Only because I remember that game, the epic 3-2 to Rangers against Queens.
That could be another one for the blind rankings of epic finals.
Rodney Wallace.
Rod Wallace is incorrect. It's your first life lost.
Chris Sutton.
Chris Sutton is also incorrect.
Sutton, you fucking loser, never scored in a Scottish Cup final.
Second life lost.
Who else?
No more lives to lose.
Scottish Cup in those years. Craig Conway.
Correct. That's 6.
David
He is tenable. Goodwillie is tenable. That's you up to 7. 3 more to get. And you've got 12 different people to choose from.
Stephen Naismith.
Stephen Naismith, unfortunately for you, Matthew, is incorrect. He is not tenable, and therefore you have lost this week's list. Thank you so much for joining us here on Tenable. How have you enjoyed your time?
Give me the rest of them
then. Larsson, you had McNamara was the third scorer in that Hibs game in 2001. You could have had John Hartson, Bobo Baldi.
for Sutton.
You went for the wrong Selleck man. And also Barry Ferguson, he scored in that 3-2 match in 2002. Lorenzo Amoruso in 2003, 1-0 against Dundee. You could have had Stan Petrov, he scored against Dunfermline in 2004, and the goal scorer for Dunfermline that day was Skerla to make it 3-1. You could have had Alan Thompson, he scored against Dundee United in 2005 in a 1-0 win. Rudy Scatchell you didn't mention in the Gretna game.
I forgot.
McGuffey was the Gretna scorer, didn't expect you to get that one.
Guffers.
Perrier Doumbé scored against Dunfermline for a 1-0 win for Celtic in 2007. You got Steve Tosh, the other Queen's scorer that day was Jim Thompson. Chris Boyd you mentioned, but DeMarcus Beasley you did not. And that is your lot. I mean, we had Novo after that, and then the Conway double and Goodwillie for 2010.
Did alright, could have done better. Some interesting names, McNamara, DeMarcus Beasley, the other guy for Celtic, never heard of him in my life. So
Perrier Doumbé?
Nah.
Oh, come on.
I'm telling you, man. Tell me any Challenge Cup final, I'll tell you the scorers.
Jean-Joël Perrier-Doumbé. Let's look up his wiki.
I believe like 4
started
games for
at-
Celtic, I bet.
It was exactly 4, yeah.
What a cult hero as well, but he's a cult hero. Who's he on the list?
20 Cameroon caps, by the way. Started at Auxerre, went to Rennes, 4 loan caps appearances, for Celtic, then 2 official ones. Then played for Toulouse.
He's a cult
Currently age
hero then, no?
47.
Fucking hell.
Nah, probably, yeah.
But he played so little. And just turned up, scored a goal in the cup final, and then fucked off.
I like the part of the Wikipedia page that tells you a fun fact about him, but there's nothing here really about Jean-Joël Perrier-Doumbé, which is a shame.
Fair play to this guy, decent career. And Scottish Cup winner go against the Pars. What more can you ask for? Not long now to the World Cup draw, mate. Just looking at the dates. Sorry to break off in the Scottish Cup chat. A week tomorrow. What about the Ronaldo thing, quickly? What fucking nonsense, eh?
Yeah, let's end on that. FIFA, a joke. Absolute disgrace. Ronaldo's a prick. You bend the rules just for this guy. It's not even like they're trying to cover up a scandal. They're just blatantly allowing it to happen and thinking that it's okay to just say, oh, because it's an independent panel, there's definitely been no jiggery-pokery, no backhand deals. What a nonsense. It's to do with the sponsors. The sponsors want him playing every single minute of every game. It's an absolute joke.
Makes a
mockery
of a
of the whole thing.
suspended sentence in football. Like, it's not a thing that ever happens, is it? It's not the fucking jail and that.
Apparently, Koscielny, it happened with Koscielny.
Who?
Laurent Koscielny, the French centre-half.
Oh, yeah.
He got, I think, sent off in the first half of a first game of a playoff, like a double-leg playoff. Missed the second leg, and then was allowed to play in the World Cup, even though he should have been suspended, and it got postponed. So it's happened before, apparently. But I think it's a crock of shite.
Yes, it is strange, but FIFA are a bunch of corrupt dicks, and you can quote me on that. Infantino, you wank. But yeah, Scottish football is pretty good.
Yeah, we'll just stay in our wee bubble and be happy about it. Also, the coefficient's done well tonight. So far, anyway, Celtic have got the win. We're recording this on Thursday evening. It's currently 21:46, so the Celtic game is done. Rangers, I think, were 1-0 up the last time I saw. Matthew, can you confirm the score there?
1-1, and Aberdeen's also 1-1.
Oh, it was 1-0 in both those games when we started recording, but it's gone peaked up.
You jinxed it, you mug.
Yeah, it was my fault. Yimi Talene has... I mean, a draw's probably enough for him to stay in the job another wee while longer.
He did alright in the league. Good win against Hearts. So, but yeah, Scottish Cup, mate, it's always exciting, the Scottish Cup. All the teams are dreaming of glory, and I think there'll be a fair few upsets this weekend.
Let's hope so.
You've got your classic sort of November, December, wet, sticky pitches, rain and wind. It's just beautiful, eh? Floodlights on, you've got to love the Scottish Cup this time of year. Something magical about it.
Absolutely. I remember you and I went to the first round match between Syngenta FC and Thrieve Rovers.
That's right.
A 1-0 home win for Syngenta in their first ever Scottish Cup match. That must have been, 3 years ago now? 4 years ago?
Yeah,
maybe?
about 3-4 years ago, yeah. What's happened to them?
And good question. I don't know what's happening with Syngenta, but we'll have a quick Google before we end this episode.
Yeah, it was at
Syngenta FC.
It was at
they were dissolved in 2023.
R.I.P. Syngenta. You dicks wouldn't let us into the bloody lounge, would they?
In June 2022, Syngenta became a full SFA member, having gained their club licence, allowing the club to take part in the Scottish Cup and Scottish Youth Cup. However, during season 22-23, Syngenta resigned from the league due to off-field disputes, and the results were expunged in March 23.
Oh, a sad way to end, but they didn't let us into the lounge at half-time, so they could have got some extra money to help them, but...
Yeah, we literally wanted to go and buy a tea. We weren't trying to steal one.
Like
And they wouldn't even let us buy a tea.
Sorry, Syngenta fans, for that. We're sorry. Ended on a sour note. It was an interesting game at the time. Little did we know it'd be their one and only.
I was trying to regale a romantic tale there of Scottish Cup days gone by, and it turns out that they've been
wound up.
They've been dissolved. Anyway, thanks for listening. Give us a comment down below, drop us a DM, share it, like it. If you're on Spotify, if you're listening, just coincidentally, there have been hundreds of you now who have very, very kindly tuned in and listened to a full episode according to our data, which is great. Thank you so much for doing that, and we appreciate you. Once you've listened to a full episode on Spotify, it does allow you to give us a review. So just go onto Spotify, find us, and hit how many stars you think this podcast is worth. We'd really appreciate your feedback. So thanks again from Matt, Andrew, and I for sticking around. This is getting dropped on Friday the 28th, and then we'll be back again with another episode, all three of us for the first time in a while, on Tuesday, the 2nd of December. Advent time.
That's
Until
right.
then, see you later.
Cheers.
Is that it? You're not going to... No.
I said cheers.
I'm going to say bye then, no?
Bye.
See you later.